ISO 10962 defines the structure and format for classification of financial instruments approved by the International Organization for Standardization. There are many types of financial instruments used for saving, investing, trading, hedging and speculating. These instruments are generally organized in groups called asset classifications. The most common asset classifications are generally described using terms like equities, debt, derivatives, currencies, and a few other generalized terms. ISO 10962 provides a global standard for these classifications in the form of specific codes. Classification of financial instrument code is used to define and describe financial instruments as a uniform set of codes for all market participants. The code is issued by the members of ANA, the Association of National Numbering Agencies. The group is currently working to simplify the structure so that it can be adopted more widely by non-governmental market participants. The alphabetical characters in each position of the 6-character code reflect specific characteristics intrinsic to the financial instruments that are defined at the issue of the instrument, and which in most cases remained unchanged during the lifetime of the instrument. History of ISO 10962 modification. Standard was first accepted and published in 1997. The last revised and accepted version of the standard was published by ISO in 2001. In 2006, FIX Protocol Group published a proposal for changes of the standard for consultation, but the changes have not yet been accepted. As of May 17, 2013, an update of the standard is under development. Background and goals of introduction. Where distinct entities transacted is seen as helpful to establish a common transaction language. The CFI code is meant to provide the most comprehensive information possible, while at the same time maintaining the code manageability. Provides a standard for identification of type of instrument and the main high-level characteristics, determined by the intrinsic characteristics of the financial instrument, which would be independent of the individual names or conventions of a given country or financial institution. This principle avoids confusion arising from different linguistic usage as well as redundancy, while allowing an objective comparison of the instruments across markets. CFI codes also aim to simplify electronic communication between participants, improve understanding of the characteristics of financial instruments for the investors, and allow securities grouping in a consistent manner for reporting and categorization purposes. Structure of CFI code. The first character indicates the highest level of category to which the instrument belongs: equities, debt, entitlements, options, futures and others. The second character refers to specific groups within each category. For example, the subdivisions of the equities category are ordinary shares, preferred, preference shares, units, and others, while for the debt instruments category, the subdivisions are bonds, convertible bonds, money market instruments, and others. The other four characters refer to each group's main features. For example, in the case of equities, whether they are voting and non-voting, restrictions, payment status, etc. In the case of debt instruments, the type of interest, guarantee, a form of redemption, etc. The letter X always means not applicable, undefined. Table of CFI code construction. Sample of main CFI classifications. Existing possible values. E equals equities, S equals shares 1, voting right, V equals voting, N equals non-voting 2, ownership, transfer restrictions, T equals restrictions, U equals free 3, payment status, O equals nil, paid, P equals partly paid, F equals fully paid 4, form, B equals bearer, R equals registered, N equals bearer, registered, Z equals bearer, depository receipt, A equals equals registered depository receipt. P equals preferred shares. R equals preference shares. C equals convertible shares. F equals preferred convertible shares. V equals preference convertible shares. U equals units. M equals others. D equals debt instruments. B equals bonds. C equals convertible bonds. M equals others. T equals medium-term notes. W equals bonds with warrants attached. Y equals money market instruments. R equals entitlements. A equals allotment rights. M equals others. S equals subscription rights. W equals warrants. O equals options. C equals call options. 1 exercise style. A equals American. E equals European. 2 underlying asset. S equals stock. I equals index. D equals debt. C equals currency. O equals option. F equals future. T equals commodity. W equals swap. B equals basket. M equals other. 3 delivery. C equals cash. P equals physical. 4 standard. Non-standard. S equals standard. N equals non-standard. P equals put options same as call. M equals others options same as call. F equals future. C equals commodities futures. 1 underlying asset. A equals agricultural. E equals extraction. I equals industrial. S equals service. 2 delivery. C equals cash. P equals physical. 3 standard. Non-standard. S equals standard. N equals non-standard. 4 not used. X equals not used. F equals financial futures. 1 underlying asset. S equals stock. I equals index. D equals debt. C equals currency. O equals option. F equals future. W equals swap. B equals basket. M equals other. 2 delivery. C equals cash. P equals physical. 3 standard. Non-standard. S equals standard. N equals non-standard. 4 not used. X equals not used. M equals others. M equals other assets. R equals referential instruments. 1 further grouping. C equals currencies. T equals commodities. R equals interest rates. I equals indices. Example: ESNTPB is equities shares. Non-voting restrictions partly paid bearer. ESXXXX is equities shares. OPASPS is options put American stock physical standard. FFIXXX is futures financial index. FXXXXX is futures. RWXXXX is rights warrant.